What up, guys? So I've been taking pictures all night instead of showing you guys what's actually happening. But so we got so far. The intake manifold was a bitch to take off. This is because it was stuck behind there, and there was a PVC valve back there. Waiting for the fuel line to come in today. According to USPS, should be here today, but I hate USPS, so God knows. We're gonna take off the crank pulley because I thought the Z51 had the double splines and it doesn't. So we're gonna get this off today. Got the heat exchanger bolted up with the pump. I don't know if you guys can see that. And the reservoir. On the Z51s, we found out you have to remove the brake duct air coolers for it to fit. And I didn't think I was gonna need to replace this plastic shroud, but you really do need to replace that too. So here's the old one. I don't think there's any clips on it or anything. So basically next we're gonna try to get the headers off on both sides and replace the X pipe first, and then start working on everything else. So that's your update. Oh man, it's been pretty bad. So day 2, we got one side of the headers off. I'm gonna say for the record, if you get headers for your C7, fucking pay somebody to do this shit, because this shit sucks so bad. Like, it was the worst experience. We got one side off, and took us half the damn day. We got this side loose, but the mid pipe down at the bottom is rusted to fucking hell, and it's almost impossible to get off. I don't even know if you can see that down there. And we have impact and everything, but we have to use air tools. And then I am gonna have to change the crank pulley. We got the bolt out, but it's hitting the power steering. So I'm not gonna figure out a way to get this out the way to get this off. Still in the same place with this stuff. Just for comparison, this is the old headers and these are the new ones. What I'm gonna do is try to get this side in later tonight, and then also the thermostat. Now we didn't take off the dry sump lines at the bottom. I don't know if I'm gonna need to do that to get the new ones in, but we didn't need to do that to get the old ones off. So take a little break, go from there. But day 2 is kind of almost a waste because the headers, it just took so fucking long to get those things off. So all right, guys, update 2. You guys are gonna see this video and it'll be one video, but it took me 3 days. So it's day 2. All right, guys, day 3 update. Let me tell you what, getting the headers out was such a pain. However, putting them in was really easy. So we got this side of the Kooks headers in. Obviously I didn't bolt it all the way down because just in case we need to make adjustments or whatnot. O2 sensors hooked up. Just gotta tighten the bolts down on this side. Obviously I unhooked everything over here. Pulley bolt out of this. Wait for my buddy to bring a pulley over because I don't have one. In order to get that out the way, this whole steering rack had to be moved. So I bolted everything from this side, and then bolted a couple things from that side, and I moved it out the way, and then we got the crank pulley out. I'm gonna reuse it, use some anti-seize on the threads here, and put it back in because it looks okay. This side is still in. It's such a pain. 2 of the bolts in the midsection are pretty much seized, so I PB blasted them. My buddy's gonna try to bring impact over. We're gonna try to knock those out. I'm gonna hook up the air, see if we can get those out. If we get those out, the other ones will go in easy, and then that's parts pretty much the 3 hardest parts: getting the headers off, getting this pulley off to put on the Z06 pulley, and I think that's gonna be it. After that, it's just putting a supercharger up here, replacing the valley plate, replacing the fuel lines, which I have. Putting the adapter plates in. I think it's gonna be all smooth sailing from there. So we can get the car back down on a flat surface and get everything in. I think that's gonna be the easiest part. But the hardest part that's taking me literally 2 days. Hopefully we get that off, and then at that point we're just putting everything back together. Car's in pieces. I did not expect to have to take this much off. It's a project for sure. I probably could have done it an easier way, but I'm never doing things the easy way. Try something new. I'll have decent power. I know you probably have a lot of questions why didn't you get a Pro Charger? Well, I don't like centrifugal superchargers, so I'm a root style guy. Always have been. Had one other root style before in my older car, which wasn't a big deal because it was a Cavalier, but still. I prefer root style. And I have a turbo car now, and it's just a pain in the butt. I'm not a fan of turbo. It's just so much work. So when I have my supercharger, it's really easy. So hopefully this is easy after we get it in. Getting it in has been a pain. I'm sure if I didn't do the headers and the exhaust part as well, it just wouldn't take me nearly as long. I think the longest part would have been getting this pulley off. But since I did everything at once, I think that is the reason this is taking me so long. So I haven't changed the thermostat out yet. I don't want to get coolant all over where I'm working. So even though I can drain, it'll be dripping everywhere. So I'm going to save that for later as well. So I don't think it would have been that much of a pain if I didn't do the headers as well. The headers has cost me like 2 days. The rusted bolts, getting your hand in little tight spaces, getting the old ones off has been like the worst. They say you can get a little more clearance moving the valve covers, but I was scared to do that because I don't know, I didn't get new gaskets and I don't know if you can reuse old ones, so I just left the ones on there. So hopefully, like that side went in pretty easy. So hopefully this side goes in just easy, and then hook up the X pipe to the mufflers and everything like that. So right now I'm just waiting on my buddy. I'm gonna do some painting, and then that'll be it. The X pipe is put together here, and then the supercharger, I put the throttle body on, so that's just about ready to go. So hopefully that's it. Status. He clearly sees it's still sitting on the table. But the good news is, both of these fuckers are out and into the car. It is super late. I'm super tired. Both sides, headers are in. This is the LT4 valley plate is in. Gotta figure out how to get this out. We had to take the fuel rails off. So if you're doing this, you have to take the fuel rails off. I was super nervous about taking them out. I hope they're okay. Didn't touch them or anything, bolted them in. Now all we gotta do is put the supercharger outlet bracket in, 2 of the pulleys, connection of the wires, run the wires for the intercooler pump. Obviously put the face back on it. Put together the fuse box. Spark plugs are in. The whole exhaust is done. Oil's been changed. There's an old valley plate. That's it. I was just gonna work through the night, but I have one more solid whole day by myself. Thank God for my friend that came over with a pulley puller, because this was a bitch to get off. So I torqued down and ready to go now. Putting a new one on. It's been a long fucking day. I'm tired. And tomorrow we should be finished cleaning up the garage, ready to go. Slap the tune on this baby, and hopefully nothing goes wrong. Nothing's bad. Everything's where it's supposed to be. Gotta run those fuel lines. Hopefully everything's good. Hopefully that'll do it. And then just hook up everything else. Yeah, if you guys want any stock C7 parts, let me know. Garage full of them. Here's my one-time use only fuel lines. And that's gonna be it. Like, I was talking to Chris and he said, you should work on it all night, but I'm just fucking tired. Went out with the girlfriend, had a little bit to eat and drink, and then when you have eat and drink, that's it. So I laid in the bed for like 2 seconds to take a break, and now I don't feel like doing anything anymore. So we use that one more day to the fullest, and hopefully my daily driver is ready to go for Tuesday, because if not, I ain't getting to work. So peace out, guys. Day number 3 in the books. Now it's all about just putting it back together.